Let's talk about the incredible hidden teamwork that's happening inside our bodies, like right now. We're going to break down the science behind something that feels pretty simple on the surface, just going for a morning run. It's way more complex and amazing than you might think. You know that feeling, right? You lace up your shoes, you head out the door, and just a few minutes in, you can literally feel your heart kicking into high gear. It's something we all experience. But have you ever really stopped to think about what's happening under the hood? I mean, what's causing that? It's not just one thing, it's this beautifully coordinated dance between all these different systems in your body. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to trace that entire journey, starting with the fuel from the food you ate and follow it all the way down to the individual muscle cells that are powering you across that finish line. Okay, so our story actually begins long before you even think about running. It starts at the dinner table with how your body gets its power plant ready for action. I mean, that energy you feel doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It's the result of this really meticulous process that begins the moment you start eating. And that first stop on our journey is your digestive system. We usually think of our GI tract as, well, just body's plumbing. But get this, it's also the single largest hormone producing organ we have. It's like a mission control center, constantly sending out chemical messages to manage the body's entire energy budget. So here's how it works. When you eat, special cells in your gut release hormones, like this one called GIP. What's so cool about GIP is that it reacts to everything: carbs, fats, and proteins. It's basically the body's dinner bell shouting to your entire system, hey, get ready. A big wave of energy is coming in. And this lays out the whole chain of command perfectly. You eat, GIP gets released. That tells your pancreas to start making insulin. And insulin then acts like a key, unlocking your cells so they can grab all that fuel, glucose, fatty acids, and store it away for later. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's incredibly efficient. All right, so the fuel is now stored and ready to go. But fuel in a tank is pretty useless if you can't get it to the engine, right? So let's talk about the heart. Think about it like this: your muscle cells are little factories, and that fuel from your meal is the raw material they need to do their job. The heart is the massive pump that provides the pressure to get those materials delivered right to the factory floor. Now, this is where it gets really amazing. Heart muscle is built differently than other muscles. See those little connections between the cells? Those are called gap junctions. You can think of them as open doorways, allowing an electrical signal to just fly from one cell to the next so fast that they all contract at the exact same time. It turns millions of tiny cells into one giant, powerful, coordinated muscle. But your heart is actually two separate pumps working together. The right side, the right ventricle, is pretty thin. It only has to pump blood a short distance, right next door to the lungs. But the left ventricle, that thing is an absolute beast. It's thick, it's powerful, and it has to generate enough force to push blood all the way to your brain, down to your toes, and of course, to those leg muscles for your run. And here's a fun little fact for you: the valves inside your heart are held in place by these little tendons. When the heart pumps, tiny muscles pull on them to make sure the valves don't flip backward. And you've probably heard of them. They're nicknamed heartstrings. So we've got the pump providing all this force. But where does the blood go from there? Well, it enters this incredible delivery superhighway. As soon as that blood leaves the powerful left ventricle, it shoots into the aorta, which is the body's main arterial highway. And from there, it branches off into this massive, complex network of smaller and smaller arteries, reaching every single part of your body. This isn't just a passive set of tubes. Oh no, it's a super dynamic traffic control system. The aorta's walls are elastic, so they stretch and recoil with each heartbeat, helping to push the blood along. The smaller arteries act like gates, squeezing shut or opening wide to direct blood flow exactly where it needs to go, like, say, to your leg muscles during a run. Even the cells lining the vessels get in on the action, releasing chemicals to relax the artery walls and boost flow. So we have our fuel, we have our superhighway to deliver it. Now it's time for the main event. Let's zoom all the way down to the microscopic level for the cellular grand finale. This is the moment of truth. That superhighway of arteries eventually leads to this incredibly vast network of teeny tiny, thin walled vessels called capillaries. And this is where the magic happens. This is where the oxygen and the nutrients are finally handed off to the tissues that are screaming for them. And this whole exchange is governed by this beautiful, delicate balance between two opposing forces. First, you've got hydrostatic pressure. That's the push. It's the leftover force from the heart's big contraction, and it pushes all the good stuff water, oxygen, nutrients out of the blood vessels. But then you have osmotic pressure. That's the pull. Proteins in your blood create this force that pulls fluid and waste products back into the blood vessels. And you can see exactly how it works here. At the beginning of the capillary, that push is way stronger, so all the nutrients and oxygen get forced out to your hungry muscle cells. But as the blood flows along, the push gets weaker. By the time it gets to the end of the capillary, that pull is now the stronger force, and it sucks all the waste products, like carbon dioxide, back into the bloodstream to be hauled away. And that's it. That right there, that microscopic handoff, that delicate balance of push and pull, that is the exact moment that the meal you ate hours ago officially becomes the fuel that is powering your run. When you think about it, from the hormones in your gut to the perfectly timed beat of your heart to the physics of fluid exchange in your tiniest blood vessels, it really is a symphony. It just makes you wonder what other incredible collaborations are going on inside you, orchestrating your every move right this second.